What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. It's a great day to talk about altcoins. That's right. I thought it would be fun to talk about a metal that many of us don't typically talk about in the precious metal community, and that's because this isn't a precious metal. This is an industrial metal, but it's still something that you can stack. Copper, the beautiful red metal. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of copper. I'm going to be talking about whether or not it's something that we should be converting our dollars into. And I'm also going to be talking about the American Copper Eagle. Ooh. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos. Subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos. Follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. And of course, 3 quick things before we dive into the video. Number 1, if you haven't already, try you out some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier version of the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. 2, if you haven't already started investing and you would like to, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so, and they make it really easy for a new investor to start investing because of how simple it is to navigate on the app. Link down below. And of course, 3rd and finally, if you need any silver or gold, or I guess in this case copper, stacking supplies, airtight tubes and capsules, anti-tarnish paper, mini lock boxes, microscopes, the list goes on. Those will all be linked in the description as well for your convenience. All right, so in today's video, I want to talk about something that we don't talk about very often. I want to talk about copper, stacking copper, buying copper, or getting your hands on free copper, the more ideal way of stacking copper. I want to talk about the beautiful red metal. I thought it would be fun. I thought it would be interesting. I thought it would mix things up. A lot of people get caught off guard when I post a copper video. In the last 7.5 years, I've posted maybe, 5. People bug out every single time. Whoa, copper? Copper? What are you talking about, copper? Copper, that's right. The beautiful red metal. Now, as you can see on display right here, we have I don't want to say a nice selection, but the overwhelming majority of what you're looking at right here are pre-1982 pennies. Now, what's interesting about pennies, or what's different if you were to compare one of these pennies to a majority of the pennies that you would get back at the grocery store, at the convenience store, whatever, loose change, pocket change. Most of the pennies that we look at today, a 2025, a 2022, a 1987, whatever, anything pre-1982 is made up 95% of copper. See, many of us are familiar with pre-65 silver coins, where it's 90% silver. Well, pre-1982 copper pennies are 95% copper. And guess what? The big change happened in the middle of 1982. So if you have a 1982 copper penny, there's like a 50-50 chance on whether or not it's 95% copper. But if it's pre-1982, it is absolutely 95% copper. If it's an 82, you just have to weigh it and just figure out whether or not it's copper or not. But anything pre-82 is 95% copper. Now, another interesting thing about copper, other than the fact that it's a very versatile metal. It's an incredibly flexible metal. It's a fantastic conductor of both heat and electricity. It's an industrial metal. It's not a precious metal. And being that it's not a precious metal, here's the interesting thing. It's weighed differently. See, with precious metals, they go by troy ounces. A troy ounce of silver. A 5 troy ounce silver bar. Half a troy ounce gold coin. That's how it goes. Now, in order to get to a troy ounce of a precious metal, whether it be silver, gold, platinum, palladium, rhodium, whatever, it's a tad bit over 31 grams. It takes a little over 31 grams to equal a troy ounce. That's how precious metals are weighed. Industrial metals, or virtually anything else, go by regular ounces. So, about 28 grams to equal an ounce of copper. It's weird, makes no sense, don't ask me, I don't get it either. but precious metals are weighed in troy ounces. A little bit different. So you might be wondering, because many of us talk about 90% junk constitutional silver and how it takes about 3 silver half dollars to equal a troy ounce of silver, 6 silver quarters to equal a troy ounce of silver, 14 silver dimes to equal a troy ounce of silver. How many 95% copper pennies did it take to equal an ounce of copper? And the answer to that would be about 9. All it takes, 9 of these right here, 9 of these little copper pennies to equal an ounce of copper. Now, copper is an extremely cheap metal. There's not exactly a shortage of copper. There's a lot of copper out there. And it's not scarce, it's not rare, it's not expensive, it's not valuable. But the cool thing is, if you were to take a little 95% copper penny, according to face value, this right here, what is that? A 77. According to face value, this is worth 1 cent. According to copper value, this is actually worth a little over 2 cents, somewhere between 2 and 3 cents. Not a major difference. Not life-changing amount of value if you were to stack up a bunch of pre-82 copper pennies. But it just goes to show that the metal's worth more than the coin claims that it's worth. Funny how that works. Same could be said about pre-65 silver coins. So do I think that stacking copper is worth it? Do I think that stacking copper is a good idea? Do I think that stacking copper is a great way of preserving wealth long term, 10 years out, 20 years out? It can be. I think there are far more intelligent ways of doing so, and there are far more ways of doing so without taking up a tremendous amount of room. I mean, for example, just to come up with an ounce of copper, you need 9 copper pennies, as I was just explaining. Do you have any idea how many pennies it is going to take to come up with any substantial amount of currency value being attached to it? You're going to need not ounces of copper. You are going to need pounds upon pounds upon pounds of copper just to be worth a couple of extra bucks. So it takes up an incredible amount of room, and people complain about silver taking up too much space. Look at copper. Copper takes up an absurd amount of space if you are actively stacking it. So do I think it's really like an effective way of doing it or an efficient way of doing it? Not really. I think silver and gold are far better ways of preserving wealth long term. And if you're looking to build wealth long term, I think investing is the superior way to go. I don't think copper will really do the trick, in my opinion. So no, I don't think focusing really any of your attention at all on copper is the way to go. Here's how I would recommend stacking copper. Stacking copper that is free. Every single penny that you're looking at right here, over the last couple of years, just by looking through my pocket change, I stumbled upon pre-1982 copper pennies. And I set it aside. Keep it in a little Ziploc bag. I have several Ziploc bags full of copper pennies, just by looking at pocket change. If you were to look through your pocket change for some pre-65 silver, very hard to come by. I found 1 silver quarter and 2 silver dimes in the 7.5 years that I have been stacking, just by looking at pocket change. Super rare, super hard to come by. Luck of the draw. When it comes to copper, there's like a 20% chance you look at a penny and it being a copper penny. So they're really easy to come by. Nobody cares too much about copper. Nobody focuses on copper like that. But if you find one, you know that that little 1 cent piece is actually worth 2 cents or more. So yeah, if you want to set it aside, why not? In addition to that, if you were to go out of your way to purchase copper, a copper bar, a copper round, like for example, some of the copper that we see up top over here. Some of these were gifts This right here is a little 2-ounce copper bullet sent in from Iron Fury. Thank you very much for sending this my way. Sent it to my P.O. box probably like 5-6 years back. Still have it, obviously. I would never get rid of a gift. And that includes the gifts that I give myself. The silver and gold coins, rounds, and bars. We have a 1-ounce copper Jersey Devil round. This was sent in from Lon. Thank you, Lon, for sending this my way. Appreciate it. Sent this to my P.O. box maybe 3 or 4 years ago. We have this one right here. A 1-ounce copper penny round. Looks like a penny on one side. 1 ounce of 3/9 fine copper. Golden State Mint on the other. This is one that I got myself very early in the stacking game. Going on 8 years ago. We have this one over here. The Copper Aztec Calendar Round. I try to keep this one in the plastic that it came in. I try not to touch it just because of how beautiful it is, and copper really tones very, very quickly. It gets that like dark brownish color to it, and I want to keep this one as pristine as possible. So, the Copper Aztec Calendar Round. Got that one for myself as well during the COVID collapse of planet Earth. And now finally, I want to show off the Copper American Eagle. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is not an official coin, but rather a round. On one side, we have the Walking Liberty. In God we trust. Yes, we do. Obviously, closely resembling the Silver Eagle. Same design. The Walking Liberty. But if we were to flip it over, check this out. This is what the Copper Eagle has on the reverse. If you have any Walking Liberty silver half dollars, you're familiar with this design. United States of America, 3/9 fine, at the bottom, 1 ounce of copper. Not 1 troy ounce, 1 ounce. About 28 grams, as opposed to a hair bit over 31 grams. So this right here is something that I picked up for myself just for fun. Something that I thought looked pretty cool, and it's something that I wanted to have, so I went and converted my dollars into it. I personally wouldn't recommend purchasing copper rounds or bars, unless of course it's something like this case, and it's like, wow, that's a cool looking design, I'd like to have it. I don't have a problem paying the premium to acquire it. But that's something that you're going to have to keep in mind. That's something that you're going to need to be mindful of. That's something that you're going to need to be aware of. It seems pretty cheap. Couple bucks, no big deal. But when you break it down, you're actually paying astronomically high premiums, because how much is this right here actually worth? How much is this little 1 ounce copper round worth? Well, I mean, let's just do the math. How many copper pennies did I say it takes to equal about an ounce of copper? 9. How much is each penny worth? 2, 2.5, 3 cents. Let's just call it 2 cents. Those 9 copper pennies are worth about 18 cents. Probably a little bit more, but about 18 cents. And that right there is about an ounce of copper. This right here is an ounce of copper. So how much is it worth? About 18 cents. Probably a little bit more. 18, maybe 25 cents for an ounce of copper, because a pound of copper is so unbelievably cheap. So this right here is really only worth 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 cents, something like that. But I paid several dollars for it. Think of it from that angle. Now, for 1 piece of copper, 1 unit that I thought looked pretty cool and I wanted to just have because I thought it would be fun, no problem. But if you think converting your dollars into a little 1-ounce copper round or a little 1-ounce copper bar for a couple dollars is an intelligent way of preserving your wealth long term, you have to understand that the premiums through the roof. Think about it. It's worth about 20 cents, and if you're paying $2, $3, $4, $5 for it, sure, it's a small amount of currency, but that premium is actually insane if you think about it. Again, that premium is more for the art and more for the fun and more for just, for the sake of making videos like this. It's forgivable, but if you're converting your dollars into it and think that you're actually getting a good deal, you're not. It's like paying a higher premium for a highly collectible coin or something with that numismatic value. Paying a higher premium for something that has something special attached to it other than just the fact that it's made out of whatever metal it is that you're after. Nothing wrong with it. If you're a coin collector, you can justify the premiums. This right here has a crazy high premium. Can you justify it? For regular stacking, absolutely not. For a random piece every here and there because you think it's fun? Sure. No big deal. It's just a couple extra bucks, especially if you're getting it online and you're ordering a larger amount of silver or some gold and you want to throw in one little copper piece just for the heck of it because it's a fun thing to do. What's it going to increase the shopping cart to or by? Couple bucks? No big deal. If it's just for fun, why not? No problem. But it's something that you're going to need to be mindful of. It's something that you're going to need to be aware of, and it's something that you need to be conscious of. So coming around full circle, stacking copper. Is it something that we should really be doing? Is it something that we should be focused on? Is it something that we should actively be after? In my opinion, no. In the 7.5 years that I've been stacking, I converted my dollars into 3 pieces of copper. All 3 just exclusively for fun, exclusively for the videos, exclusively for conversations like this. 3 times in 7.5 years. Cost me a grand total of probably $10 or less in total for those 3 over the course of 7.5 years. No problem. Copper pennies. If you stumble upon one, it's free. Why not set it aside? Or if you or someone you know is like a plumber or an electrician and they can get their hands on copper, pipes or wires or something like that, sure. And guess what? Once you stack up enough free copper to the point where you're like, okay, this is getting to be a little bit too much copper. Guess what? Scrappers. Take it. Scrap the metal for a little bit of cash and take that cash. And what can you do with that cash now? You can take it to the coin shop and get you, instead of a copper American Eagle, maybe, just maybe, a silver or gold American Eagle. Just by spending a little bit of time stacking some free copper. Copper that you just stumbled upon. Whether it be the 95% copper pennies, or pipes, or wires, or whatever. Scrap copper. Just by picking up a little bit of free scrap copper and trading it for a little bit of cash, you can take that cash and go and get yourself some real deal silver or some real deal gold. You don't have to worry about the copper American Eagle. You can get yourself a gold American Eagle or a silver American Eagle. If you save up enough copper, the copper can be free. You can stack it for free. And you can take that free copper and trade it for some cold hard cash money, which you can then trade for some real money. Real, true, honest money. Internationally recognized as money. Constitutionally recognized as money. Biblically recognized as money. Real, true, honest money. Just something to think about. Just something to talk about. This video was just for fun. This video was just to spice things up. Talk about something a little different. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts on copper. the beautiful red metal. Think it's worth stacking? Yes, no, maybe so, at the very least. Would you agree with me on the fact that it's a gorgeous looking metal, and they make for a nice looking coin or a round? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you guys liked today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos, and follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. And of course, the big three. Number one, if you haven't already, try you out some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. Two, if you haven't already started investing, download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so, and they make it really easy for a new investor to start investing because of how simple it is to navigate on the app. Link down below. And of course, last but certainly not least, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, whether it be airtight tubes and capsules, anti-tarnish paper, microscopes, mini lock boxes, and safes, the list goes on, those links will also be in the description for your convenience. And once again, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below, what are your thoughts on the beautiful red metal? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you not care for it? Do you have any copper? If you do, is it free copper, like pre-82 copper pennies, or scrap copper? Have you ever bought a copper round, a copper bar? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below and whether or not you think it's even remotely worth stacking. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.